The porch steps groaned beneath my sensible heels as if warning me to turn back. 17 years of absence stretched between the woman I am now and the girl who fled this house with nothing but wounded pride and a few $100s. The white paint peels from the railings in long curls, revealing wood grayed by Oregon winters. My fingers smooth non-existent wrinkles from my charcoal pencil skirt, a nervous habit I thought I'd outgrown. "Mom?" Lucas squeezes my hand, his 10-year-old fingers warm against my suddenly cold palm. "Are we going in, or what?" I force a smile. "Of course we are, buddy." My finger hovers over the doorbell for 3 heartbeats before I press it. The chime echoes inside the same 3-note melody from my childhood. Some things never change. The door swings open. Mother stands framed in the entrance, her hair more silver than the ash blonde I remember, her eyes narrowing briefly at the sight of me. Then her gaze drops to Lucas, and her entire face transforms. "Oh my goodness." She kneels despite her arthritic knees, arms outstretched. "You must be Lucas. Look how handsome you are." Lucas glances up at me, uncertain, before accepting her embrace. Over his shoulder, Mother's eyes meet mine with cool appraisal. "Claire," she says simply, as if I'd returned from a weekend trip rather than nearly 2 decades. "Well, come in then." The dining room remains frozen in time, the same cherry table where my college acceptance letters once lay unopened, the hutch still displaying Mother's collection of porcelain birds. Father sits at his usual place, thinner than I remember, the newspaper folded beside him rather than in his hands. "There's my grandson." He stands with surprising vigor, extending his arms wide. "Let me look at you, young man." Lucas approaches with the natural caution of a child meeting someone who exists only in stories. "He looks just like you did at that age, Claire," Father says. And for a moment, warmth flickers between us. Mother bustles around, laying out a spread that would suggest this visit was long anticipated rather than arranged yesterday. "Lucas, do you like roast beef? Your mother used to love my sandwiches." Claire runs her own marketing firm now. I say, speaking of myself in the third person, a strange distance that feels necessary. "In Albuquerque." Mother arranges cucumber slices in a perfect circle. "That's nice, dear." Her voice carries the same dismissive tone I heard when I announced my scholarship to state. "Daniel will be so interested. He just made partner at his firm, you know." Lucas skipped a grade in math. I try again, hating the need for their approval that still lingers like a stubborn stain. Father nods vaguely while peppering Lucas with questions about baseball and video games. My achievements evaporate like morning dew, while my son receives the attention I craved throughout my childhood. "Your sister's art gallery in New York is doing wonderfully," Mother says, slicing tomatoes with precise movements. "Always such a creative spirit." The familiar weight settles on my chest, Megan, the golden child, forever first in their hearts. I smile tightly and reach for a sandwich. We eat with careful politeness, navigating around 17 years of absence. I notice Father's hands trembling slightly as he lifts his glass. The lines around his mouth have deepened crevices. When he reaches for the salt, his wedding ring slides loosely on his finger. "So," I venture during a lull, "how are things really going for you two?" A glance passes between my parents, quick but loaded with meaning. "Splendid," Mother says too brightly. "We're thinking of repainting the living room. What do you think of—" Father's glass slips from his fingers, water pooling across the walnut tabletop. But it's not the glass that causes my breath to catch, it's his face, suddenly ashen, one hand clutching his chest. "Dad?" I rise so quickly my chair topples backward. "Just heartburn," he wheezes, but his eyes are wide with panic. 3 hours later, we sit under fluorescent hospital lights, the emergency room's antiseptic smell burning my nostrils. Lucas dozes against my arm while Mother twists her wedding band round and round. "Mrs. Jenkins?" The doctor approaches, clipboard in hand. Mother rises. "Yes? My husband. Stable now. It wasn't a heart attack, but rather an acute stress response." My eyes narrow. "Stress?" Mother's gaze drops to the linoleum floor. Claire, there's something we need to tell you. Father's voice comes weakly from the hospital bed as the curtain slides back. The house, Claire. Going to lose the house. What are you talking about? The words feel like stones in my mouth. We owe nearly $180,000, he whispers. The bank gives us 3 months. The fluorescent lights suddenly seem too bright, the walls too close. As Mother begins to explain, memories flood back 18 years old, standing in the same dining room learning my college fund had been emptied. Megan needed seed money for her design studio. Mother had said then, not meeting my eyes. You can always take loans. I watch her hands now, still twisting that ring, and understand with perfect clarity why they've suddenly welcomed me home. I see, I say softly. Now you need me. I arrange my notebook, pen, and calculator on the dining room table with the precision of a surgeon preparing instruments. The mortgage documents lie open before me, numbers that tell a story my parents tried to hide for years. I can buy the house outright. My voice carries the neutral tone I use in board meetings. You both can live here rent-free for 7 years. Mother's teacup rattles against its saucer. You would do that for us? I don't answer immediately, tapping my pen against the notebook where I've outlined my terms in careful bullet points. The gesture gives me time to push down the bitter question burning in my throat. Why not ask what Megan would do for you? Instead, I say, I have conditions. Father straightens in his chair, a flicker of the proud man he once was. Of course you do. I'll need everything properly documented through my attorney. The deed transfers to me immediately. I flip to the next page of my notebook. You'll be responsible for regular maintenance. Major repairs over $5,000 will require my approval. Mother's mouth tightens at the corners. You sound like a landlord, not a daughter. I am both. The words come out harder than intended. Lucas glances up from his homework at the kitchen counter, sensing the tension. I soften my voice. This protects all of us. Father reaches for the agreement I've drafted. We live with these terms, Claire. You're saving our home. The front door slams with dramatic force, making us all jump. Megan storms into the dining room like a Category 5 hurricane. Designer sunglasses pushed into her salon-highlighted hair. Sorry I'm late. Traffic from Portland was. She freezes, taking in the scene. The documents, my notebook, our parents' pinched expressions. What's going on? Your sister is helping us with the mortgage situation, Mother says, her voice unnaturally. Megan's eyes narrow as she spots the preliminary agreement. Helping how, exactly? Claire has offered to buy the house, Father says. We can stay here, no rent. Megan yanks out a chair and sits, the legs scraping against hardwood. You're selling our house to her? They're not selling it to me, I correct her. I'm saving it from foreclosure. There's a difference. Megan slams her palm on the table. You never paid a dime for this house. You abandoned us. The accusation should sting, but 17 years provides remarkable insulation. I take a slow, deliberate breath. Neither did you. My voice remains steady despite the tremor I feel building inside. The difference is, I can afford to buy it now. Megan's face flushes crimson. I was going to handle this. With what money? Father asks wearily. The bank gives us 3 months, Megan. But I told you I was working on something. Megan turns to Mother. Remember our plan? What we discussed? Mother pales, glancing between us. But Megan said she would take care of us. The realization slides into place like a key into a lock. I look around the living room, at the family photographs arranged on the wall. I'm noticeably absent from Most High School graduation, college age, young adulthood, all missing. But Megan appears in every frame. The golden child, the one who stayed. What exactly was your plan? I ask her. Father stares down at his hands. Megan suggested we could sell the house, move to a retirement community. Downsize, Megan adds quickly. It makes sense at their age. And what happens to the equity after debts are paid? I press, already knowing the answer. The silence tells me everything. My offer stands, I say, pushing the agreement closer to my parents. But I have one more condition. Megan has no part in this arrangement, no ownership, no input. Under the table, my hands tremble against my thighs, the only outward sign of what this confrontation cost me. That's not fair, Megan shouts. Fair? The word tastes like copper on my tongue. Was it fair when they emptied my college fund for your design studio? Was it fair when you co-signed a second mortgage on their house without a plan to repay it? Mother begins to protest, but father squeezes her hand. Claire is right, he says quietly. We made this mess. She's offering a clean solution. I slide my pen across the table. My parents sign the preliminary agreement while Megan watches, jaw clenched, eyes burning with rage. She stands abruptly, chair toppling backward. I suppose we know who the favorite is now. This isn't about favorites. I remain seated, the eye of her storm. It's about consequences. Megan stalks out, slamming the door with enough force to shake the walls. A framed photograph crashes to the floor, glass shattering across hardwood. I walk over and kneel beside it. My high school graduation, the last family photo with me in it. I lift it carefully, shards tinkling like wind chimes, and place it face down on the table rather than rehanging it. My parents' relieved expressions carry a weight I didn't expect. I've won the battle but feel no triumph, only the strange burden of power I never sought. That night, I tuck Lucas into bed in the guest room that was once mine. Why is Aunt Megan so angry? He asks, eyes wide in the lamplight. I smooth his hair, choosing my words carefully. Sometimes helping others means protecting yourself first. Is that what you're doing? Yes, I say, kissing his forehead. That's exactly what I'm doing. The process server catches me barefoot, coffee mug halfway to my lips. He stands on my doorstep at 7:15 a.m., his expression a practiced blend of boredom and mild apology. Claire Jenkins? His voice lacks any real interest in my answer. Yes? He thrusts a thick manila envelope toward me. You've been served. The envelope lands heavy in my palm, like a brick wrapped in paper. I close the door with my heel and stand motionless in my entryway, drips of coffee spotting the hardwood floor. Inside, black text marches across white legal paper. My eyes catch phrases that stop my breath. Emotional coercion of elderly persons, undue influence, exploitation of diminished capacity. Megan's name appears on the first page as petitioner. Our parents are listed as the allegedly victimized parties. The coffee mug clicks against the counter as I set it down. My fingers spread the documents across my kitchen table with surgical precision. I recognize Megan's tactics, immediately the dramatic language, the selective presentation of facts, the portrayal of herself as the devoted daughter protecting vulnerable parents. Lucas appears in the doorway, backpack slung over one shoulder. Mom? We're gonna be late. I straighten, breathing deeply. Change of plans, buddy. How about a movie day? After dropping Lucas at my neighbor's, I make one call. Brian Mitchell. His voice brings back memories of college study groups, his meticulous notes saving me more than once. Brian, it's Claire Wallace. Well, Jenkins now. Claire. Haven't heard from you since wait, is this about your sister? Courthouse gossip travels fast. That's exactly why I need a real estate attorney who knows my family history. My voice remains steady. Someone who remembers I wasn't the golden child. 2 hours later, I park outside my parents' house, the micro-recorder tucked discreetly in my purse. Not illegal in Oregon party consent is all that's required. Mother opens the door, her eyes widening. Claire, we didn't expect. May I come in? We need to discuss Megan's lawsuit. Father sits in his recliner, newspaper lowered at my entrance. She said it was the only way to protect our interests. Did she? The recorder captures his nod, my mother's uncomfortable shift of weight from one foot to the other. And what exactly do you need protection from? Their voluntary explanations fill the silent house for 20 minutes. Not once do they claim coercion. Not once do they express regret about our agreement. In Father's study, I discover more. A folder labeled Retirement Options holds letters from Megan dated months before my return. Property listings for senior communities. Brochures for retirement homes. Notes about liquidating home equity. My sister's handwriting fills the margins. They'll be happier. The house is too much. Claire abandoned the family anyway. At the hospital where Father was treated, Dr. Winters reviews his chart at my request. Cognitive impairment? No, not at all. Stress-induced anxiety, yes. But your father's mental faculties are completely intact. He looks up from the records. Is someone suggesting otherwise? Downtown at First Oregon Bank, Mr. Peterson leans forward across his desk, voice lowered. Your sister inquired about becoming a signatory on their accounts. Standard procedure requires all current account holders to be present. When I explained this, she became insistent. By Friday morning, I've assembled enough evidence to make Brian whistle through his teeth. This might be the fastest dismissed case I've seen in years. The small-town courthouse hasn't changed since my high school field trip. The wooden benches creak under the weight of neighbors who pretend they're here for other reasons. Everyone knows the Wallace family drama is today's main attraction. Megan sits across the aisle, designer suit impeccably tailored, hair swept into an elegant knot. She clutches a tissue, but her eyes remain dry. When she takes the stand, her voice trembles with practiced precision. I only want what's best for my parents. Claire swooped in after 17 years of absence and somehow convinced them to sign over their home. She dabs at the corner of her eye. They're vulnerable. Dad's health, mom's arthritis. They need protection, not exploitation. Judge Harmon watches her with the neutral expression of someone who's heard every variation of family betrayal. Miss Wallace, your response? At the witness stand, I place my evidence folder on the rail. No emotional appeals. Only facts. The documented timeline. The letters. The medical records. The bank manager's statement. Your Honor, my parents approached me for help when facing foreclosure. I offered to purchase their home at fair market value, allowing them to remain there rent-free for 7 years. Every aspect of this arrangement was extensively documented and executed with their full understanding and consent. Judge Harmon turns to my parents, seated uncomfortably in the gallery. Mr. and Mrs. Wallace, were you coerced into this agreement with your younger daughter? The courtroom falls silent. Mother rises slowly, her hands twisting her wedding band. No, Your Honor. Her voice catches. Claire offered help with no conditions at first. We're the ones who couldn't make the payments anymore. She glances toward Megan, then back to the judge. Claire saved our home when no one else could. Father stands beside her, shoulders squared despite his recent health scare. We signed willingly. Every document was explained to us clearly. Claire protected our dignity, giving us choices. Something shifts in the courtroom, a collective exhale, the rustle of people exchanging glances. Megan stares straight ahead, knuckles white against the table edge. Judge Harmon takes only 15 minutes to return with his decision. Case dismissed. 2 weeks later, the doorbell rings. Megan stands on my porch, eyes red-rimmed, holding a small gift bag. Can we talk? Please? Over coffee, her tears seem genuine. I was wrong, Claire. Seeing how you helped them, I want to rebuild our family. Let me help care for them too. Against my better judgment, I nod. Everyone deserves a second chance. The following weeks unfold in a montage of Megan's helpfulness. She drives Mother to doctor appointments, repairs the porch railing, prepares Sunday dinners where we all sit around the table like a normal family. Until my phone rings at midnight. Claire? It's Diane from the county clerk's office. Her whisper carries urgency. We're friends from high school, remember? Listen, Megan's been in here twice this week, preparing power of attorney documents for your parents. The bedroom ceiling swims above me in the darkness. Some people never change their patterns. The knowledge settles into my bones with surprising calm, not the hot anger of betrayal, but the cool clarity of confirmation. Tomorrow, I'll act. Not with rage, but with the same methodical precision that built my life from nothing. Some wars are won by those who keep their heads when everyone around them is losing theirs. Evidence fills the coffee table. Bank statements. Power of attorney forms with blank signature lines. Notes from conversations with Dr. Miller about cognitive assessment options. Everything laid out with the precision of a corporate presentation. I've spent 2 weeks gathering these breadcrumbs, placing each one in a clear folder with labeled tabs. My hands remain steady as I arrange the final piece of printed email from Megan to a real estate agent discussing market value after renovations. The timestamp shows last Tuesday, the same day she brought Mother chicken soup and helped Father with his physical therapy exercises. You asked us to come over? Mother walks into the sitting room, her cardigan buttoned unevenly. Father follows, his cane tapping a hesitant rhythm on the hardwood floor. Yes, please sit. I gesture to the couch opposite me. There's something we need to discuss. Father lowers himself with a grimace. Sounds serious. It is. I push the first folder toward them. These are copies of power of attorney documents I found in Megan's room, partially completed. Mother's fingers tremble as she opens the folder. I don't understand. Look at the second tab. I keep my voice level, a skill perfected during client presentations when emotions would undermine credibility. Doctor. Miller confirmed Megan asked about testing for early dementia. Tests neither of you mentioned needing. Father's face pales. She said it was routine at our age. I nod, not in agreement, but acknowledgement. Carol Patterson overheard Megan at the Bluebird Cafe last week. I slide another folder forward. She was discussing how quickly she could flip the house once it's mine. The front door opens with familiar force. Click sharply across the entryway tiles. Sorry I'm late. Megan's voice rings with practiced cheer. Traffic was. She freezes at the sitting room entrance, her smile vanishing when she spots the documents spread across the table. What's this? Her tone shifts from confusion to accusation in 3 syllables. Sit down, Megan. Father's voice holds an authority I haven't heard in decades. She remains standing, designer purse clutched against her chest like armor. You're going through my things now? Having people spy on me? Spying suggests secrecy. I tap the power of attorney document. These speak for themselves. Mother picks up the real estate email, reading aloud. Once renovations are complete, we could list it $425,000 minimum. Her voice cracks. You were planning to sell our home? After moving you to Whispering Pines, I add the facility brochure to the evidence pile, where they specialize in memory care patients. Megan's mask slips completely. Her face contorts, no longer the concerned daughter, but something rawer, hungrier. You wouldn't need this huge house, it's practical. Practical for whom? I ask quietly. You abandoned them for 17 years. Megan's voice rises. You don't get to swoop in now and play hero. I'm not playing anything. The calm in my voice surprises even me. I'm presenting facts. Father stares at the documents, connecting dots that should have been obvious years ago. You were never going to help us keep the house. Everyone knows houses are terrible investments at your age. Megan attempts to regain control, her tone sliding into the patient explanation she uses for difficult clients. I was protecting you. By having us declared incompetent? Mother whispers. Silence stretches between us like taffy, thick and increasingly uncomfortable. Megan's eyes dart between our parents and me, calculating her next move. I gather the documents into a neat stack. I won't tell you what to do. My words hang in the air, measured and final. But I will tell you what I'll do. If Megan gains legal control over either of you or this house, my support ends immediately. You can't be serious. Megan's laugh holds no humor. You let them lose everything over your petty jealousy? No, Megan, I'd stop enabling a pattern that's continued for 30 years. I stand, collecting my evidence. This is your choice to make. I tell my parents, I'll respect whatever you decide. I walk out without looking back, the weight of decades settling across my shoulders. In the rental car, I breathe deeply, counting to 10 before starting the engine. Lucas will be waiting at the hotel, homework spread across the bed, eager to tell me about the swimming pool. That night, my phone remains silent. I sleep surprisingly well for someone who has just detonated a family bomb. 2 days later, Father calls as I'm preparing Lucas's breakfast. She's gone. His voice sounds older yet somehow stronger. You were right. I close my eyes, the vindication bringing no joy, only the hollow satisfaction of necessary protection without reconciliation. We told her to move out, he continues. Your mother, his voice catches. She told Megan we couldn't trust her anymore. I slice Lucas's peanut butter sandwich into triangles, exactly how he likes it. I'll have the ownership paperwork ready by Friday. Thank you, Claire. After hanging up, I set up an automatic monthly transfer to cover their expenses. Protection without proximity, support without surrender. The balance I've finally learned to maintain. The morning sun spills across my kitchen counter as I pack Lucas's overnight bag. 1 year since I stood on that peeling porch. 1 year since I learned what family truly means, both its limits and its possibilities. Mom, did you put my Oregon Trail game in there? Lucas appears in the doorway, hair still rumpled from sleep. Grandpa wants to try it. I tuck the game cartridge between his folded jeans and t-shirts. Right here. And your allergy medicine is in the front pocket. I know, Mom. He rolls his eyes with the particular exasperation of a 10-year-old who believes he's practically grown. You always put it there. The monthly weekend visits have become our routine. Structure replacing chaos, just as my therapist suggested. On my refrigerator calendar, these weekends are marked with blue stars, each one representing a careful step toward whatever healing might be possible. I zip the bag closed. Breakfast before Grandma and Grandpa arrive? While Lucas devours his waffles, I prepare another care package for my parents. Homemade banana bread, Dad's blood pressure medication I pick up from the pharmacy because their insurance has a higher copay. The latest photos of Lucas's science fair project. My phone rings. Mother's name appears on the screen. Claire. Her voice carries the slight formality that may never fully disappear between us. We're about 15 minutes away. Perfect timing. Lucas just finished breakfast. I keep my tone pleasant, professional. Dad's appointment is Tuesday at 2. I've emailed you the details. Thank you. A pause stretches between us. Megan sent a card last week. My hand tightens around the phone. I see. She's asking about Christmas again. Says she wants to make things right. I place the banana bread in a container, securing the lid with perhaps more force than necessary. My position hasn't changed, Mom. My door is close to her, but I don't wish her ill. Mother sighs, a sound heavy with resignation rather than judgment. I understand. After we hang up, I glance at my office door. Behind it hang the awards my marketing firm has collected over the past year. New client testimonials. The framed business license that represents everything I built alone. The doorbell chimes. Lucas races to answer it, his excitement genuine. Through the window, I watch my father ease carefully from the passenger seat, his movements slower than a year ago, but steadier than that day at the dining room table. Claire, Dad hugs me with one arm, a greeting that would have seemed impossible 18 months ago. The yard looks wonderful. Those red bushes. Firecracker plants I fill in. Lucas helped me plant them. I dug all the holes myself, Lucas announces with pride. Mother stands slightly back, taking in my home with quiet assessment. Your porch planters match the window boxes. Very coordinated. From her, this observation counts as effusive praise. Later, after they've departed with Lucas chattering excitedly about their weekend plans, I sit at my desk reviewing the house deed. 6 more years of support promised. 6 more years of carefully maintained boundaries. The phone rings again. My therapist's office, confirming tomorrow's appointment. On her notepad, progress notes tick upward. Family healing without compromising safety. The doorbell interrupts my thoughts again. Probably the neighbors returning the garden trimmer. Instead, Lucas stands on the porch, tears streaming down his face. My parents' car idles in the driveway. What happened? I kneel before him, heart hammering. Aunt Megan called Grandma's phone. His voice hitches. She wanted to talk to me. She said you keep her away because you're jealous. A familiar rage rises in my chest, but I swallow it down. Come inside, buddy. My parents hover uncertainly on the porch. I nod once, permitting their entry without words. In the living room, Lucas sniffles against my shoulder. Is Aunt Megan bad or just sad? The question pierces me with its innocent wisdom. Some people take without giving back. I explain carefully, aware of my parents listening from the entryway. It doesn't always make them bad people, but it means we need to be careful about how close we let them get. Like forgiveness doesn't always mean reconciliation. He repeats words from our previous conversations, his face serious. Exactly. I brush his hair from his forehead. You can forgive someone, but still need distance to stay safe. My father clears his throat. We should have believed in you from the beginning, Claire. His voice catches. All those years. Mother steps forward, placing something on the coffee table. A framed photograph of Lucas now displayed prominently in their living room. We know now, she says quietly, that you succeeded not despite our neglect, but by learning from it. After reassurances and apologies, they leave again with Lucas, his momentary distress forgotten in the excitement of the weekend ahead. Alone, I pour a glass of wine and review the mortgage statements. Each payment a promise kept, despite the painful history. Each boundary maintained, not from bitterness, but from wisdom hard-earned. On my phone, a notification appears, another social media request from Megan that I quietly decline. Some might call this halfway healing, selfish, or incomplete. But as the evening sun casts long shadows across my living room, this space I built through years of solitary struggle, I recognize the peace that comes from choosing compassion with boundaries. Can you forgive someone completely while still keeping them at arm's length? Is that true forgiveness or just self-protection? Perhaps the answer lies in the question itself, that sometimes protection is the purest form of forgiveness we can offer, both to others and to ourselves. My fingers hover over the pristine white envelope addressed to my parents. Outside my kitchen window, New Mexico sunshine bathes the desert landscape in golden light worlds away from Oregon's persistent gray. I draw a steadying breath and press the Christmas invitation closed. Mom, did you put Grandma and Grandpa's names on that one? Lucas bounces into the kitchen, sneakers squeaking against the tile floor. I did. I slide the envelope toward the pile of completed invitations. Lucas grins, revealing the gap where his front tooth should be. Wait till they see my science fair trophy. And the guest room, can I put mints on our pillows like hotels do? Sure, buddy. I ruffle his hair, marveling at his capacity for joy. We'll make it perfect. The guest room stands ready, testimony to careful planning. I've installed grab bars in the bathroom for Dad's weakening knees, chosen a mattress firm enough for his back, placed family photos deliberately on the nightstand, Lucas at various ages. Smiling into the camera, his existence a rebellion against everything that tried to break me. When the doorbell rings 3 weeks later, Lucas beats me to it, flinging it open with the abandon only children possess. Mother's mouth forms a perfect O as she steps into my home. Her gaze travels from the vaulted ceilings to the southwestern art adorning the walls, finally landing on the framed awards from my marketing firm displayed in the entryway. Claire, she whispers, this is stunning. Father leans heavily on his cane, eyes widening as he takes in the house I bought without a penny of their help. You did all this? She sure did, Lucas announces, chest puffed with pride. Mom says she bought it all by herself. No bank owns any of it. The unintentional barb hangs in the air. No mortgage, no debt. Everything I never learned from them. Grand tour time. Lucas tugs at their hands. Wait till you see my room. And Mom's office, that's where she makes all the big decisions. I watch them disappear down the hallway. Lucas chattering about square footage and property values terms he's absorbed from my world. So different from what might have been had I stayed in Megan's shadow. That evening, Mother stands beside me in the kitchen, chopping vegetables with precision while I check the roast. You run your home like you run your business, she observes quietly. Everything has its place. I nod, accepting the observation without comment. In the living room, Father studies the wall of photographs Lucas learning to walk. His first day of school, our camping trips to the Grand Canyon. Years of life they witnessed only through occasional emails. This one? He points to a picture of Lucas on a bicycle. His 7th birthday. I place a glass of water beside him. First time without training wheels. He nods, eyes lingering on his grandson's face. We missed so much. Later, after dinner is served and crackers pulled, I present them with a leather-bound album. For you, Lucas's early years. Mother traces the embossed date with trembling fingers. But this starts when he was born. Yes. The word holds years of absence, forgiveness, and boundaries all at once. Our Christmas table feels complete, though Megan's absence sits like a ghost at the edge of our conversation, acknowledged but not centered. Lucas dominates the evening, recounting school achievements to grandparents who listen with genuine interest. Their questions focus solely on him, rather than veering toward comparisons with cousins or Megan's children. After everyone retires, I sit alone in my study, journal open on my lap. I write by moonlight. Forgiveness isn't about erasing history. It's about choosing which parts to carry forward. I close the journal and move silently through the darkened house. On my photo wall, I add a new framey parents with Lucas beneath our Christmas tree. Beside it, I've left space for next year's image. Not a return to the past, but room for careful growth. Outside Lucas's door, I pause, my fingers brushing the wood. The moonlight catches my reflection in the hallway mirror, a woman who has finally learned her own worth, who has redefined family on her own terms.